Hello, today we concern with beta-lactamase detection, both screening and confirmatory methods. As we know, it is of four types based on molecular classes according to the Ambler scheme, that is A, B, C and D. So in class A, penicillinase including extended spectrum beta lactamase. In class B, Metallo beta lactamase. In class C, Ampicillinase. In class D, Oxacillinase. So we are discussing extended spectrum beta-lactamase, in brief ESBL, Metallo beta-lactamase, in short MBL. Similarly, Klebsiella pneumonicarbapenemase, in brief KPC. Similarly, Ampicillinase, in brief AmpC. Oxacillinase 48, in brief OXA 48, plus Methicillin resistant Staphylococcus aureus, in brief MRSA, and finally D zone test for iMLSB strain, that is induced macrolide lincosamine streptogramin B strain. So let's start with extended spectrum beta lactamase. Here we can see ESBL screening and confirmation. Third generation cephalosporins, that is ceftazidime, cefotaxime and cefodoxime. If the zone of inhibition of ceftazidime less than and equal to 22 mm, similarly cefotaxime zone of inhibition less than and equal to 27 mm, and cefodoxime less than and equal to 17 mm, then there is chance of ESBL. In this way we can screen ESBL, but it can be phenotypically confirmed by this way. Here this is the Muller-Hinton agar after overnight incubation with the organism 0.5 microfarad standard with drugs ceftazidime 30 microgram and ceftazidime plus clanovic acid 30 plus 10 microgram clanovic acid. The distance of these two drugs center to center 30 millimeter. If the zone of inhibition equal and greater than 5 mm than that of ceftazidime, the isolate is ESBL producer. Here we can see this is the ESBL producer. Now about Metallo Betalactamase screening and confirmation. If imipenem, ceftazidime or meropenem any of them are resistant, then there is chance of MBL, and this will be confirmed phenotypically in this way. The organism 0.5 McFarland standard inoculated in Muller-Hinton agar with the drugs 10 microgram imipenem plus EDTA. Incubated overnight. After that, the zone of inhibition of combination drug is greater and equal than 5 mm than that of imipenem. The organism is MBL producer. So here you can see the concentration of EDTA 0.1 molarity, that is 292 microgram. So this is the MBL producer. Similarly, about Klebsiella pneumoniae, carbapenemase screening and confirmation. If imipenem or meropenem drug is resistant, then there is chance of KPC, and it will be confirmed by this way. The organism 0.5 McFarland standard inoculated with meropenem and meropenem combination, that is phenylboronic acid plus EDTA. After overnight, the zone of inhibition of the combination drug, that is meropenem plus phenylboronic acid plus EDTA, equal or greater than 5 mm than that of this meropenem. The organism is KPC. Here you can see the concentration. Meropenem 10 microgram, phenylboronic acid 10 microliter, and EDTA 10 microliter, and phenylboronic acid concentration 300 microgram per ml, and volume 10 microliter. So this is the KPC. Now about Ampicillinase screening and confirmation. How to screen? It is very simple. If cephozidine zone of inhibition less than 18 mm, then there is chance of AmpC, and it will be confirmed by this way. The isolate 0.5 microfarad concentration standard inoculated in 2 molar Hinton agar with the presence of cefoxitin 30 microgram and cefoxitin plus phenylbronic acid 10 microliter. Concentration is 300 microgram per ml. After incubation of overnight, the zone of inhibition of the combination drug is equal or greater than 5 millimeter than that of cefoxitin. The isolate is AmpC producer. So here you can see the isolate is AmpC producer. So let's talk about ESBL and AmpC co-producers. So very simple. The earlier method can be applied here. Here you can see cefotaxime and cefotaxime clanovic acid. The distance between these two drugs center to center 30 millimeter. Okay, and then zone of inhibition of cefotaxime clanovic acid equal and greater than 5 mm, then the organism is ESBL. We have discussed earlier. Similarly, for AmpC, the zone of combination drug is greater and equal than that of cefoxitin, (5 mm), the organism will be ESBL and AmpC co-producers. But the distance between these two might be 20 mm, center to center, center to center. Okay, so let's talk about Metallo Betalactamase and Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase co-producers. Apply the same method as discussed in MBL and discussed in KPC in a single molar Hinton agar plate, and everything is same. So the imipenem plus EDTA concentration same as we talked earlier. So the distance between these two drugs center to center 25 millimeter. The zone of inhibition of this combination drug imipenem plus EDTA equal and greater than 5 mm than that of single imipenem. The organism is MBL producer. Very simple. Similarly, about KPC, imipenem plus phenylboronic acid, imipenem plus phenylboronic acid plus EDTA, and distance between these two drugs 20 millimeter. The zone of inhibition of this drug is equal and greater than 5 mm than that of this drug. The organism is KPC. So in this way, we can detect MBL and KPC co-producers. Okay. Now about oxacillinase detection. So here we are concerned with oxacillinase 48. This test is based on the use of EDTA to permeabilize the bacterial cell and release lactamases into the external environment. EDTA was also used to inhibit the production of MBL carbapenemase, while a solution of phenylboronic acid was used to inhibit the production of KPC. The stock solution of EDTA was prepared by dissolving the anhydrous EDTA in distilled water at a concentration of 0.1 molar from this solution. 10 microliter was dispensed onto two blank paper discs. The stock solution of phenylboronic acid was prepared as previously recommended by dissolving phenylboronic acid in dimethyl sulfide and water at a concentration of 60 mg per ml. From this solution, 10 microliter was dispensed onto the right of two discs containing EDTA. The discs were then dried and used within 60 minutes. The surface of the Muller-Hinton agar plate was inoculated with a lawn of carbapenem susceptible Escherichia coli American type culture collection in brief ATCC 25922 at a turbidity of 0.5 microfarad standard. A 10 microgram imipenem disc was placed on the inoculated surface of Muller-Hinton agar. By touching the top of well-isolated colonies, 2 to 3 colonies of the tested microorganism were applied to coat the disc containing EDTA and EDTA plus phenylboronic acid. The inoculated discs were placed with the bacterial inoculum, that is microorganism, side down on the lawn adjacent to the imipenem discs. The plate was then incubated overnight at 35 degrees Celsius in ambient air. After 18 hours of incubation, the plates were examined for either the indentation or of flattening. Here you can see flattening of the zone of inhibition indicating enzymatic inactivation of imipenem. Here you can see. So the result is positive. Or for either the disc adjacent to the imipenum or the absence of desertion of the inhibition halo, indicating no significant inactivation of imipenum. So the result will be negative, but here we can see flattening of the zone of inhibition here. So the result is positive. So here you can see Oxacillinase 48 producer. The organism to be Oxa48 may show negative results for KPC, MBL or KPC plus MBL production. Okay, now about methicillin resistant Staphylococcus aureus, in brief MRSA. It is very simple to detect in laboratory. This is the Muller-Hinton agar. The Staphylococcus aureus with concentration of 0.5 microfarad standard inoculated and incubated with cefoxitin. After overnight incubation, the zone of inhibition of the cefoxitin disc less than and equal to 21 mm, that is millimeter. The organism is methicillin resistant Staphylococcus aureus. Very simple. Okay, so here you can see this is the MRSA isolate. Finally, about D-zone test for IMC, that is induced macrolide lincosamine streptogramin B strain. So how to perform? It's very simple. The test is performed by disc diffusion. Placing a 15 microgram erythromycin disc in proximity to a 2 microgram clindamycin disc on an agar plate that has been inoculated with a staphylococcal isolate. The plate is then incubated overnight. A flattening zone of inhibition around the clindamycin disc proximal to the erythromycin disc, producing a zone of inhibition shaped like the letter D, is considered as positive result. So here we can see flattening zone of inhibition around the clindamycin disc proximal to erythromycin disc. Here the erythromycin, here is the clinda. That is zone of inhibition shaped like the letter D. So the D zone test is positive and the organism is iMLSB strain. For this strain, lincosamide, macrolide, and streptogramin drugs are considered resistant. That's why it is important in clinical practice. So this is the D zone test positive and the organism is iMLSB strain. I hope this clip will be helpful for clinical trial in microbiology. So please never forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. And also never forget to turn on notification to get such type of videos first. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.